So our son Mark had a normal childhood, played all the normal games and sports and things that all the other kids did. At age 12, however, when he was playing baseball, one particular game, the main pitcher was not going to be there. He was a pitcher as well, but he would only pitch for a couple of innings. And so the whole game now was on his shoulders. And so he was really struggling. The night before, he was starting to really build up the anxiety, and he was breathing heavy, and we weren't sure what was the problem. And we tried to calm him down and tried to say it'd be okay and everything. He went through the game. He pitched the game. It ended up the team he played was a very, very good team. And even if the main pitcher had been there, we still would have lost the game. But he came home feeling that he had let the team down and it was all his fault. And that's when, at that point, he really went into a full-blown panic attack. And the way he was acting, we thought it was asthma. So we rushed him over to emergency and they checked him all out and everything was fine. And they said, no, it's not asthma for sure. And so we were certainly perplexed by that. We went to several emergencies because over the next few weeks and months, we'd get many episodes like that. And so we'd take him in each time and he'd be gasping for air and we just kept quizzing the doctors, are you sure it's not asthma? Because it sure had all the symptoms to us of asthma. But they assured us it was not asthma and that he was fine, he was healthy and everything.
My son Mark, after high school, as long as he wasn't in a situation that was overwhelming to him, he would be fine. He had friends, he had a good job, he'd be fine. But as soon as something new that would come into his life that was overwhelming to him, he would start to have panic attacks.
We would think that he was doing much better because he was going to work every day and seemed to be living a normal life. Then gradually we would start noticing that he would come home more anxious and more nervous and more frustrated and having a difficult time, and little things would start to really agitate and annoy him. And eventually it would get to the point where then he would literally have just, I'll call it a meltdown. He just would stop everything, could no longer go to work. He just could barely function. He'd wake up in the morning sick with his stomach pain and headaches and just feeling lousy. And during that time, he would want to go to the doctor because he was convinced that it was something physical. I think he really hoped it was something physical, to be honest, because if that were the case, then it could be treated somehow with medicines or something and take care of the problem and life would be grand again. But that was not the case. It wasn't physical because every time you go to the doctor, it was always, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly normal and healthy. And unfortunately, the meltdown would last for months. And then finally, he would kind of work his way through and out of it and then start to do little things. And he'd start to go out with some friends again once in a while. And then eventually he'd go back, find another job, which he would get very easily, and then repeat the process. And sometimes it would be another 2 years. And then we'd go through another debilitating meltdown again and go through the same process. So those were really, really dark times and really frustrating times for all of us because we didn't know what to do to really help him. That's what was really frustrating for us.
Yeah, so we tried many different medications, but none of them seemed to help him. It either made him more anxious or totally lethargic. And so nothing felt good to him. And so we also, then after that, we started to try some natural things. He didn't want to do those anymore. And so we tried natural things.
So we discovered Hardee's at a conference where they had booths that we would go to all these booths, and Hardee's had a class that we went to. And in this class, they were pretty much describing what we were going through. So I decided that we would go ahead and try it. And so that's what we did.
Actually, it was interesting because at first, Mark didn't really think it was making any difference at all. Because I think in his mind, he expected to see a pretty dramatic change right away. And that didn't happen. But Caryl and I noticed right away that he was more calm. He wasn't as anxious about different situations. And he would start to smile and laugh more. And we were kind of getting our son back, basically. Prior to that, it was not the same at all. And so we started to notice a definite improvement as he started to use the daily essentials.
And then one day he just said, I think I should go get a job. Whereas before, oh no, not at all. He didn't even want to go out the door, but yeah. I mean, it started gradual, and then it got up to bigger and bigger things. And so it definitely was a help. Mark has been taking daily essentials since 2016. And he's been pretty good about taking them every day. But sometimes I think he thinks he's feeling good, really good, and he'll forget to take them. And so then we can tell a difference when he's not taking them. Mark's never come out and said how good he feels, but you can certainly see it in his demeanor and what he's doing. So, what have you noticed? What's the things you've noticed?
Well, he laughs, he jokes, he's
himself.
You can tell that he feels a whole lot better. Mark has really improved his relationships with his coworkers, with other friends, other people, family. It's made a huge difference. There were times, quite frequently actually, when we would have a family dinner and all the family were here, and he would basically stay in his room. If he came down for dinner, he would eat a very small portion very quickly and head right back up to his room, and that was it. We wouldn't see him the rest of the evening. That's changed. He's now with the family. He enjoys his nieces and nephews and teases them and plays with them, and enjoys being with the family, and that's improved immensely. I think you'll see the difference. You just gotta give it a try. Give it a try, and give it enough time so that you can start to monitor and see some of those differences. And I think you'll be very pleased with the results.
I would say to other parents to give it time, give the essentials time, because they're just, it's a very slow process in getting better. And but I think you'll see it as just little things that happen, just their personalities coming back and them wanting to do more things. That's how we kind of figured it out.